How's it going, everybody? Great Say Geek here, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about Ys X Nordics, or I guess it's called Ys X Nordics. It's another entry in a JRPG series that I've seen a lot about. I've seen a lot of content creators that I watch a lot talk about Ys, but I've never actually got around to playing one. Ys X Nordics was coming out, and decided to give the demo a shot, wondering if it was going to be a JRPG that I'd want to play, or maybe a series I'd want to get into. And I gotta say, I was actually really impressed with the demo. This demo is quite long. I think it's about 5 hours or so. Probably a little bit more if you do a little bit of extra stuff. But it was a pretty good demo. And I think I might just want to play a lot of games in this series. Now, I don't know if Ys is kind of like Final Fantasy in the sense that each title has similar characters but is a completely different story, or if they're connected in any way. I'm not really sure. Now, I'm not going to talk too much about the story in the sense just to, save from any spoilers for those of you who want to try it out or not want to get spoiled on anything. But the story here seems to be not too crazy or complex, but still pretty interesting. I think the characters in this game are really nice. I think they're really good so far. And the voice acting is well done. I enjoy listening to the dialogue between the characters. Your main characters, Adol and Karja, even though Adol is kind of he's pretty much a silent protagonist. He does say things every now and then, but not very often. He's mostly silent, and you pick dialogue choices of what you'd want him to say. But Karja is for the most part fully voiced. In this game, there are scenes and moments where there is no voice dialogue, especially for the kind of the minor interactions, but all the major interactions have voice dialogue, and Karja's fully voiced there. And they have a lot of good banter between each other, and it seems just really good overall. The game takes place really with eventually Adol finding this power called mana that ends up linking him with Karja in a way that ends up forcing them to work together, where Adol doesn't seem too bothered by that, but Karja kind of at first does not like the idea, and eventually kind of warms up with Adol and the whole idea of this journey that they end up going on. And I actually like these two characters together, and the two characters in general. The combat here is pretty good, and it's pretty straightforward. I didn't know if this was going to be turn-based. I didn't know if this was going to be kind of a semi-action game, but it's fully action. You see enemies in the field, and you just go up to them and you immediately can attack them, use your abilities, swap between Adol and Karja. You have joint abilities, and it's very smooth and free-flowing, which I like a lot because it never feels like it's too slow. Enemies aren't huge damage sponges, which is really nice. I know I played Tales of Arise a long time ago, and sometimes I just didn't want to fight enemies anymore because they were just so, like, took forever to kill the enemy. And it just wasn't really satisfying to keep getting into fights. But so far in the demo, this one has been a lot better. I've enjoyed fighting in the world and leveling up and all of that RPG stuff there. Customization seems to be nothing too crazy. You can change, it looks like you get new outfits that you can give your character. You can buy or craft armor and weapons and accessories for them to obviously improve their stats. I wish you kind of had a weapons appearance change when you got new weapons. It doesn't seem to be the case. It seems like even though you buy a different weapon and upgrade it, the weapon on your model's still going to be the same, or at least it was for me. I don't know if you'll get new weapons later that will change its appearance. I don't know, but that's always something that's kind of disappointing. I wish, kind of like Dragon Quest, where when you get new weapons, or sorry, Dragon Quest 11, you get new weapons, it'll show. There also seems to be quite a bit of enemy variety, which is always nice. The worst thing is when you just have only a few enemy types, and it seems like, at least in the little demo section, there was a decent amount of different kinds of enemies. You do have boss fights. Some of the boss fights were actually kind of challenging. There was that one moment in this game where the boss wiped my party out. Another time where it got very, very close. So some of the bosses can be a little bit challenging. I don't think the enemies are too difficult as you're going throughout the world, just your standard enemies. You also kind of have like a sphere grid. It's not really a sphere grid, but kind of is. You unlock nodes that you can put like crystals in there that boost different stats. And some of these nodes have new abilities that you'll unlock that you can put onto your character. You get new mana abilities for different traversal, like kind of a zip line grapple, swing, kind of basically like a surfboard that lets you go across water and kind of zoom past really quickly in areas where maybe you're backtracking or you don't want to fight certain enemies. You can just kind of zoom past them, which is really nice. And I think just the overall feel of the demo has been pretty good. The music also is great. I really enjoyed the music here. The beautiful intro song that it plays is amazing. And a lot of the songs, as you're going out throughout the world, is really good. It really helps you feel immersed into that world. It's just a really good time to kick back, relax, and listen to the soundtrack as you're playing through this game. There is some predictability in the story, but there's also enough stuff there where you don't really know what's going to happen or how it's going to play out. And I'm interested to see that. There's kind of a moment that happens with Adol towards the end of the demo where you're kind of on a time frame to do this major task. And so I don't know how that's going to play out, if you're going to have to do the whole game within a certain time, or if that's just going to be through the story. It's going to, kind of be involved in that as far as, hey, at this point in the story, this much time has passed. I didn't see a lot of side content in the demo, so I don't know how much side questing there's going to be, or if this is going to be a pretty linear mainline story. And I also don't know how long the full game's going to be. I'm assuming with the Ys demo being 5 hours, the game's probably fairly lengthy. I don't think they would do that for a game that's like 20 hours and 25% of your game's just a demo. So I'm expecting this game to probably be pretty long, which with what I've played, I'm all here for it, because pretty much every day I've been wanting to jump back in and play more of this, even though there's other stuff that I have going on that I need to play. So I'm excited to get back into it. This demo has definitely won me over to at least try out the full game and play through the full game, and potentially, if that goes well, play some of the other Ys games. I need to finish Metaphor, so I'll probably finish Metaphor Refantasio before I jump into the full game of Ys. One thing also I have to add here is I did play this on PC. I don't know how well this game runs on PlayStation. This game looks really good on PC. It's very clean. Very nice models. The world's very beautiful looking. However, it does have some performance issues. And I have a 4090 and a Ryzen 9 7950X 3D. And I've had moments in this game where it'll drop down to 40 FPS. And even in some dialogue, I've had it get stuck at like 14 FPS. That ended up fixing itself when I left the dialogue. But it does have some issues with the stability of the game a little bit. So it wasn't too intrusive to my experience, but it was still annoying, and hopefully they can get that fixed. But let me know what you guys think as far as this franchise goes. Are there Ys games that I should check out that are quote unquote the best, or whatever your favorites are? But as for JRPGs, I've been wanting to really focus a lot on those more on this channel. I love JRPGs and RPGs in general. But I think JRPGs just do such a good job a lot of times telling good stories and really gripping you into the game. And I really like this one. I'm definitely gonna have to check out some more Ys games afterwards, I think, but we'll see how the full game goes. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know if you played the demo, what you think, and any pointers that you have for new Ys fans coming into this franchise. So that's gonna be it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.